Hello students and welcome to the lecture. So students, as we know that we have started our discussion over the parliament, okay? And these are the topics that we have scheduled for the discussion under this particular series, like introduction part, organization of parliament, composition of the two houses, system of elections to the Lok Sabha, duration of two houses, membership of parliament, presiding officers of parliament, leadership in parliament, sessions of parliament, devices of parliamentary proceedings, legislative procedures in the parliament, joint sitting of two houses, budget in parliament, multi-function role of parliament, ineffectiveness of parliamentary control, what is the position of Raj Sabha, parliamentary privileges, and the sovereignty of the parliament. Okay, if we talk about the topics that we have completed so far basically, these are the introduction, organization of parliament, composition of two houses, system of elections to the Lok Sabha, duration of two houses, and the topic on which we have been discussing is the membership of parliament. And the topics that we are left with is the presiding officers of parliament, leaders in parliament, sessions of parliament, devices of parliamentary proceeding, legislative procedure in parliament, joint sitting of two houses, budget in parliament, multifunction role of parliament, ineffectiveness of parliamentary control, position of Raj Sabha, parliamentary privileges, and the sovereignty of the parliament. Okay, so that is the picture that we have created. Okay, in the previous lecture, basically we have started the discussion over the disqualifications and the qualification of a person to get elected as an member of parliament, or in short we know it as an MP. Okay, so we had discussed that there are certain criteria on which the person could be disqualified. Some provisions are basically the constitutional provisions and some provisions are from the Act of Representation of People's Act 1951. Okay, so this is the thing. So basically in this lecture we will start from where we had left. I have you can say hoped to good that you have revised the previous lecture before you have come for this lecture. As many times I have told you, that is for your own benefit. So if you are doing this on the regular basis, the thing will be very much beneficial for you. If you are not doing this on the regular basis, then might be you may feel difficulties while giving your examination. Okay, so keep this thing in your mind. Let's start from the thing. So basically, so far we had covered the disqualification as per the acts and all. Now in this lecture, we are going to talk about the disqualification on the grounds of defection. Okay, disqualifications on the grounds of defection, that is what we are going to see. So the Constitution also lays down that a person shall be disqualified from being a member of parliament if he is so disqualified on the ground of defection under the provisions of 10th schedule. Okay, so here we have got an important point. Like if we talk about the disqualification of a member as per the constitutional provisions. Okay, so the one thing that you are required to keep in your mind is that basically the main reason for this is the tenth schedule. Okay, 10th schedule is a you can say schedule in which the constitutional provisions are mentioned. Okay, so a member occurs disqualified under the defection law if he voluntarily gives up the membership of the political party on whose ticket he is elected to the house. Because we know there is a majority party rule. Okay, in the Parliament of India. Alright, so suppose there are two parties. The first party is X party and second is the Y party. Okay, so the person moves from X to Y due to some reason. Alright, but when the election was happening and when the person got elected to the house, then he was the member of X party. So the moment he left the X party, automatically his membership will be cancelled. First thing clear. Secondly, if we talk about if he votes or abstain from voting in the house contrary to any direction given by his political party. Okay, like suppose there is some provision, all right, and there is some resolution which is presented, and his political party, if they are in the government, so definitely they will be in the favor. If they are in opposition, so they will be in against. Okay, so if a person belong to the governmental party or belong to the party which formed the government, so might be the party ask him to vote in a favor, and if the person vote in the against, so it means that the person has gone to the contrary of the directions given by the political party through which he won the ticket. All right, so he will be disqualified. Thereafter, if any independently elected members join any political party, okay, like we know, if we talk about the members of parliament, all right, so there are chances that might be they belong to the some political party or might be they are independent member. So there are two conditions that might be he is a member of any national political party, not state political party. Okay, remember, either he is a member of national political party, second he is not a member of any political party, and independent member. Okay, so these are the two conditions. So if the person belongs to the second condition, it means that he is not a member of any political party when he conquers the election to the parliament and then he joins some political party. So what will happen that his membership will be cancelled. Thereafter, if any nominated members joins any political party after the expiry of 6 months. So we know that if we talk about the nomination, so there is Rajya Sabha, then the Lok Sabha. So now you're required to tell me that how many members could be go for the Rajya Sabha and how many members could be nominated for the Lok Sabha. For this, you have 30 seconds to think an answer, then I will give you the answer and your time starts now. I have told you many times, so I hope that you will give the right answer of it. Okay, 10 seconds have been passed off. Last 20 seconds remain. Last 10 seconds. All right, the time's up. So if we take the case of Rajya Sabha, so 12 members could be nominated. If we take the case of Lok Sabha, 2 members could be nominated. Now, the another question which I'm going to ask you is that you are required to tell me the grounds on which the person could be nominated to the house. All right, for Rajya Sabha and for the Lok Sabha. Again, you have 30 seconds to think and answer, and your time starts now. Just think about it. It is a very easy question. We have discussed this many times, so I don't want you to give the wrong answer. Last 20 seconds remain. Last 10 seconds. All right, the time's up. So basically, if we take the case of Rajya Sabha, so any person who is having the eminent presence in the field of art, literature, science and social science. Art, literature, science and social science, then the person would be a member of Rajya Sabha. Thereafter, if we talk about Lok Sabha, so if the person having belongingness to Anglo-Indian community and if his or her community inadequately represented in the Lok Sabha, then the president could nominate them. Alright, so if there is any nominated member, okay, remember who is not an elected member, he is a nominated member and he joins any political party after the expiry of 6 months, okay, then he will be disqualified. The question of disqualification under the 10th schedule is basically decided by the chairman in the case of Rajya Sabha and speaker in the case of Lok Sabha, not by the president of India. Whereas the challenging questions, or you can say the disqualification questions, other than time schedule, these are basically decided by the president of India. Okay, that's the thing. But if we talk about the questions of disqualification under the 10th schedule, then these are basically vested with the chairman in case of Rajya Sabha, okay, and speaker in case of Lok Sabha. Okay, so keep this thing in your mind. In 1992, the Supreme Court ruled that the decision of the chairman and speaker in this regard is subject to the judicial review. Alright, like the member who got disqualified by the speaker and the chairman on the account of 10th schedule, the member could challenge the decision in the court for the process of judicial review. Alright. Thereafter, now the next thing after the disqualification, we have the vacating of seats. Okay, which is also known as when seats become unfilled. So, in the following cases, a member of parliament may vacate his seats. Okay, the first case is of the double membership. Okay, a person cannot be a member of both houses of parliament at the same time. At a one time, either he is a Lok Sabha member or the Rajya Sabha member, but he could not be a member of both the houses at the same time. Thus, the Representation of People's Act 1951 provides for the following. First is, if a person is elected to both the houses of parliament, okay, he must intimate within 10 days in which house he desires to serve. In default of his such intimation, his seat in the Rajya Sabha becomes vacant. Okay, so suppose the person who is contesting the election and there is a situation that the same person, suppose his name was Mr. X, the same person could get selected for the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha at the same time. Okay, or you can say for the tenure of 2001 to 2005. Okay, for the tenure of 5 years. In the case of Rajya Sabha, this tenure will be 2001 to 2006. 6 years. Alright. So he is required within 10 days of his selection or the election, you can say, he is required to show his desire that whether he want to join the Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha. Okay. If he fails to do this, alright, then what will happen? He will automatically declared as a member of Lok Sabha and his seat to the Rajya Sabha will be vacant. Okay. So remember this thing. Thereafter, another case is if a sitting member of one house is also elected to the other house, his seat in the first house becomes vacant. Okay. It means that in the prior case, the person in the previous case, the person Mr. X got selected for Lok Sabha and for Rajya Sabha at a same time. In this case, Mr. Y, alright, he is already a member of the Lok Sabha, for example. And then due to some reasons, he got selected to the Rajya Sabha. Then what will happen? His previous seat. It means that this one. Okay. Why? Because this seat he was already a member of it. Okay. So this seat will become vacant. Alright. And he will be declared as a member of Rajya Sabha. Alright. That is the thing. Thereafter, if a person is elected to the 2 seats in a house, he should exercise his option for 1. Otherwise, both seats will become vacant. Okay. Like suppose the person, you can say, was elected from the territorial constituencies of X, and the same person was also belong to the territorial constituencies of Y. Okay. And then he got selected from the both. Got elected from the both. Alright. Then he is required to justify, and you can say he is required to exercise his option whether he want to be the MP from the constituency of X or from the constituency of Y. Okay. If he fails to do it, then both the seats, the territorial constituency of X and the territorial constituency of Y, both the seats will become vacant. Okay. Similarly, a person cannot be a member of both the parliament and the state legislatures at the same time. It means that the person could not be an MP and MLA at the same time. Okay. If a person is so elected, his seat in parliament becomes vacant if he does not resign his seat in the state legislature within the 14 days. Alright. After this, if we talk about the disqualification part, if a member of parliament becomes subject to any of the disqualification specified in the constitution, his seats become vacant. Here, the list of disqualification also include the disqualifications on the grounds of defection under the provisions of the 10th schedule of the constitution. Why? Because 10th schedule itself a part of constitution. Okay. Thereafter, the another reason is resignation. A member may resign his seat by writing to the chairman of Rajya Sabha or the speaker of Lok Sabha. Depends upon the which house he is a member of. If he belongs to the Rajya Sabha, he will resign by writing the letter to the chairman. If he belongs to the Lok Sabha, he will resign by writing the resignation to the speaker. Okay, as the case may be, the seat falls vacant when the resignation is accepted. However, the chairman speaker may not accept the resignation if he is satisfied that this is not voluntary or genuine. Okay, so basically it's totally, or you can say basically it is not necessary, but discretionary on chairman or speaker to accept or reject the resignation. Okay, so it's totally depend upon the chairman or the speaker whether they want to accept the resignation or reject the resignation. All right, it is not compulsory, it is not bounding on them. Thereafter, we talk about the absence. A house can declare the seat of a member vacant if he is absent from all its meetings for a period of 60 days without his permission. Okay, like you can say, suppose the parliamentary session goes on, all right, and there are discussions and meetings holding on, all right, and there is any member, okay, any member who is absent for the time period of 60 days. All right, and the member did not take the permission of the house and did not intimate his leaves, okay, to the house. Then what will happen? His seat will become vacant automatically. In computing the period of 60 days, no account shall be taken of any period during which the house is prorogued or adjourned for more than 4 consecutive days. Alright, it means that 60 days will not be count on the month wise. Basically, that will be count on the basis of working days or session days. All right, this is the area. Thereafter, if we talk about the other cases on which the person would be rejected, a member has to vacate his seat in the parliament if his election is declared void by the court. All right, if he is expelled by the house, if he is elected to the office of president or the vice president, and if he is appointed to the office of governor of the state. If any of the things happen, then the person would no longer be a member of parliament. All right. And remember, if we talk about the office of president or vice president, then many times I have seen the person claims that the vice president is the chairperson of Rajya Sabha. So if the person already a chairperson of the Rajya Sabha, then he is automatically be a member. All right. Then why he is to resign? Okay. Why the person who got elected as a vice president of India and the chairperson of Rajya Sabha, why he is resigning? If he is a chairperson of Rajya Sabha, which is the part of the parliament. So basically, to understand this, you are required to understand the concept or to know the concept. Basically, the vice president is ex officio member of the Rajya Sabha. Okay, he is not a member of the Lok Sabha. He is not a member of the Rajya Sabha. He is a ex officio member of the Rajya Sabha. So, what is ex officio member? So, remember, if we talk about it, so if we take the case of any ordinary member, so the ordinary member will have right to speak, discuss, and vote in parliamentary sessions. Okay. Whereas if we take the case of ex officio member, so he will have right to speak, discuss, but not have right to vote in parliamentary sessions. Okay. So keep this thing in your mind. The chairperson of Rajya Sabha is the ex officio member, is not a full-time member. All right. So he could not vote. And if we take the case of office of president, so we know that he is a integral part of the constitution. Okay. This is the thing. So students, basically in this lecture, we have finished till here. In the next lecture, we will continue from here. Till then, just revise the facts and figures that all we have discussed in this lecture and be ready for the another lecture. With this note, let's end this lecture, and what we say thank you.